Guys, what's up? It's your boy. Just wanted to give you a quick little intro and insight to my podcast with Robert. We were all over the place in this one. And the beginning intro, I decided, well, you can, once you hear the podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I decided to keep my very rough intro that I failed miserably at in, because it was just I think just a good way to see the behind the scenes of the pod and whatever. Not like there's much behind the scenes to look at anyways, but yeah, Rob's one of my oldest friends. We had a lot of fun. We talked about basketball, we talked about meeting each other, friends, relationships, all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys dig it, and thanks for sticking around. Here we go. What's up, people? This is the last house on the left. This is I forgot what's my
Robert.
No.
Oh.
Kill time. Speak with someone. What's up, people? This is the last house on the left. This is where I kill time.
Keep this in.
Keep it in. Keep it in. All right, guys. Okay, so this is the last house on the left. I don't know how to do my intros. Even this is my 8th time doing it. I think it goes something like this. This is where I kill time, speak what's on my mind, and chop it up. No. Oh, chop it up, kill time, and speak what's on my mind. What's up, guys? So,
Oh! We're getting started right here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to leave this all in, just so people see the real stuff.
You might as well.
Yeah, well, so, guys, I'm still new to podcasting. I have one of my best friends here. I'm trying to let me see what the best intro is for you, man. The Red Rocket,
Everything.
Your Squirtle, and my contacts. I still don't know how you got that name. But
that's when we were coming up with all the names for everyone. The Bumpkin, the Sowney, and all that
yeah.
crap.
Yeah, and that was like literally 8th grade. So Robert Misiag is in the building. Let's give him a round of applause. Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Cool, man. So honestly, you're one of the first people that I wanted to do on my podcast, but I knew that I had to get like kind of in the role of things, which is funny because now
I couldn't have done it without the setup.
Yeah, well, that's a funny thing, dude. Shane said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
because it is, once again, I've said this in other podcasts, but it's so dumb when I have to just put up my camera and then we like start talking, and then it's like, bro, even in 2 months, dude, we're not gonna be here, so I'm gonna
change the name.
I don't know. I kind of like the name, though.
You can change it to the last store on the left. So that's going to be your room.
Oh, my God. Dude, that is so depressing.
It's so true, though. Because it last door
my
on the
mom's
left.
going to be knocking on the door like, hey, dinner time, Ben. And I'll be like, hold on.
Are you going to set this up in your room?
I don't know if I'm going to have room. So, on a random note, my parents, they, like, redid my whole room. They repainted it. There's, like, a new bed. Dresser and all this stuff, so it's really a guest. Can you hear my voice now? I was backing away from the mic.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You gotta be right on that.
Oh, you can hear me now.
Oh, hey, so when same thing happened when we were playing. I wasn't playing with Shane. Well, never mind.
A lot of stuff happens at this house, folks. We don't know the extent of it, but
I'm probably not going to cut any of this just because it'll make it more interesting, honestly.
This is raw. Man.
It is raw. So look at this. See, I'm here on the top, because you're a bottom. And so see how this is your mic underneath it. See how it's more.
Bop.
Yeah. So the louder or the closer you get up to the mic, is the more you can hear it a little bit louder.
Can you hear me now?
It'll be easy. Yeah, it's still fine.
Okay.
We can still hear your voice and whatever. But what were we talking about? Oh, running the podcast out of my room at my parents' house. I honestly have no clue, man. Like, we were trying to figure out right now. The backdrop and whatever is nice, but it's kind of weird when because we're both having to face the camera, kind of like this. So it's probably better if I have the two couches like parallel to one another, and then have like a
side view, like the side view where you see our faces, like the side of our faces.
No. So like, if this you're on this couch, right, and I'm on this couch, and then we have like whatever, the end table in the middle, and then we have the backdrop on the side. So
I
me and
get
you are literally gonna, if we are face to face, and then we had the backdrop on the side, so it's not as much room. So also, I need to get a slightly different interface because a couple I want to do. It's funny because every episode, I'm like at the beginning of each episode, I'm always like, yeah, I want the podcast to be like, and then I go into whatever tangent about like what I want to add to it. But it's also funny because whenever I try to get something done, it takes me like 4 weeks to do. I was telling Shane this on the last podcast we did. I know I keep mentioning Shane because I just think about him all the time. But
Oh, I like that.
so the last podcast I did when I was just doing it out of my phone, I had Ryan over. That was in December. But I forget exactly what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I want a bigger interface so I can have like up to 4 mics. I feel like 4 different people would be like kind of crazy. Like if I had me, Scott, Shane, and Joe.
The trouble is when you add more people, like they need to know when they need to stop talking and when to talk, because it's be so much interruption where just the whole podcast is gonna be.
Yeah.
And like you're never gonna understand a single thing.
Even when we tried to do our podcast, Five Guys Live.
Oh, it was bad. It was so bad.
Dude, I honestly wanted to, as I just mentioned, I want to do like a couple different segments. So I want to do this thing called album art altercations, where like we take like an artist and then we rank their different albums. Like say like take an artist like John Bellion, and then you like rank like in your own, like, oh, I think Human Condition is his best album, followed by Glory Sound Prep or what did I say? Glory. I think I said Glory Sound Prep. Glory Sound Prep. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm probably gonna cut this out because also I'm just freaking sniffling everywhere. But anyway, so the whole idea of album altercations is you take an artist and then you have like a discourse about like whatever's going on. So it's not like an original idea because there's other podcasts called this one called Discog Discourse, which is like kind of a metalcore, hardcore punk podcast where they take an artist and they just like rank all their albums and they discuss and argue and whatever. But I feel like it could be a fun thing. So that's one of the things I wanted to do, like another like side, like obviously in the same podcast that I have, but I have like different types of course, like I feel like I mentioned Joe Rogan. Naturally, every
Better
couple.
watch out, Joe. You better watch
Yeah,
out.
look out for my 53 followers and counting.
Oh, counting. Do you get a notification every time someone follows you?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I get a little serotonin
dance?
boost.
Do a little
or
dance inside?
Yeah. Oh, actual dance. Is it serotonin or is it dopamine? I think it's dopamine, right? It's dopamine is the whole thing. I always remember like dopamine is like the, you know how you eat an Oreo and like the middle cream of an Oreo.
Continue.
This podcast is a mess. Or not
We're
Robert.
having fun.
I'm a mess.
We're having
But basically,
fun.
when you eat an Oreo, like the cream inside is like produces like a dopamine hit in your system. So that's why, you know, when you eat chips too, that or Cheez-Its when they're because they're so salty or whatever, you get those dopamine hits. Like obviously not like when you're taking, because people would immediately like switch it over to be like drugs or whatever because they have like a huge hit on their dopamine. Anyways, I'm kind of off track. Can you still hear me? Sorry, the mic's kind of
I can hear you.
away from
Can you hear me?
But
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay.
you're fine. You're great.
I feel like I'm breathing into the mic.
Like I said, it's not going to pick it up on Logic
Okay.
or whatever. So, whatever. Long story short, the thing that I was trying to get to is another segment besides album altercations. Is I'm going to call it third wheeling. So it's like me and a couple.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I originally wanted to have you and your girl Amelia on. So we couldn't have her today
Couldn't
or
have her
tonight.
today.
So that will be like a future date. But I have a couple other couples where I'm like, I can just have like a whatever. We can chop it up and whatever. And then like at the end they can give me maybe
Dating advice?
dating advice because, you know, out of everyone that reminds me I'm single, you are
You
on
don't
the top
need
of the
you don't
list.
need Amelia to do that. I can do that for you right now.
Yeah? I don't know. I
Pull
feel
out
like
that
Amelia
hinge,
has
baby.
good dating advice.
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah.
I think all women have a good understanding of how how men should treat them, because men don't naturally know how to treat women.
Yeah.
You learn that through relationships with them.
Well, I'm not gonna say. Gosh. All right. I'm just gonna go there because it's Robert.
Here we go.
I have 4 sisters, so I know how to talk to girls.
That's true.
But
There's no okay. There's a difference between talking to women in a trying to get to know on a relationship aspect and talking to your family. Because at the end of the day, your family's your family. You can say whatever you want to them because they have to live with you for their whole life. But
yeah.
someone could just...
God bless your soul. You don't have a soul because you're a ginger, but
Thank you.
you know,
Oh my God.
you are saved by our Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you.
As I was saying.
3rd time's a charm?
Usually. Dude, literally at work, I
I'm falling
sneeze
out of
like
frame.
150 times in like an hour and a half. My boss comes over. He's like, "What is wrong with you?"
Steve.
No, not Steve. Daryl. Shout out Daryl.
Daryl. Shout out to you, Daryl.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, but
You know what? Really quickly, not to cut you off, but the basement down here, as you can tell, is a little
musty.
musty, moist, damp.
I love it.
musky.
It's great for my nose.
Yeah. The only reason why we have it here is because, like, literally ping pong for over there. But sorry, finish your thought.
What I was saying was, on the other side, where when you're not seeing your family and like they have to stay with your whole life, someone could just leave you and just be like, "Oh, he treats me like crap. I don't want to be with you."
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man.
But I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, hey, like I said, I need, this is exposing myself right now. What are your socks, by the way?
Oh, shout out Amelia for these socks, baby.
What is going on?
They say, wait, what does it say? It says,
Oh.
I'm a big time golfer. Big time. And it's got trees.
Oh, I thought I'm like, it says that on your socks?
It
Where
says
is it?
it's got sand, lakes, fairways.
Oh, bro, shove that in the camera.
Come on. Look at that. You can put, okay. Yeah, you can
Where
put,
did she find that? Yeah, I don't know if it picked up, but where did she find that?
I think Newberry Comics or something. She got it me
Oh,
for,
yeah,
for
the mall,
Valentine's Day, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great gift.
Yeah.
Great gift giver.
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know. The whole thing. Yeah,
You always get real quiet when it starts coming up with the relationship talk. You were, I mean, if you
here
listen
we
to
go.
the beginning of this
Here we go.
podcast, it was you were rambling. But the second we brought up relationship,
Dude,
you're like,
dude, I might cut this whole podcast, or I might never release it.
Oh,
This is exposing me too much.
oh man.
Please finish your thought about me not.
No, there was no finishing thoughts.
You know,
I
what,
wasn't
dude?
calling you out for anything.
You know what? Maybe I'm just jealous of you in the life you have right now.
That-
You think it might be that?
I don't know why you would be. I'm
It's not that deep of a.
You could be living the same life as me, basically.
Yeah, I could, but some things got in the way.
So
You know what's crazy, man? Even like not, because of, as you know, with some liver problems and whatever, like not being able to drink as much. Even whenever, and this is funny. Actually, I want to talk about this because whenever the red light goes on to record, whether it's like a podcast or audio, or when I'm working on my own guitar stuff for the album, like. It is so, and I was in a really funny way. I brought this up to my therapist the other day. It's like as soon as I hit like the red button to like record and whatever it is, it's like I immediately like start to overthink like the way I'm talking and the way I'm speaking or whatever I'm doing in recording. So it's just funny because I feel like even though like doing a podcast is scary and it's hard and it's tough, and I'm sure like it seems like a good idea to do it. Like, I think you're my 8 or 9. I think you're my 8th episode, if I release it, that is, because this is so.
Yeah. Well, no, podcasting is something. I mean,
it's a mental thing, dude. When I hit that button, and I'm like, oh, I have to perform.
well, that's why you're trying to think of it, and that's the balance. I think what makes a good podcaster, like Joe Rogan, is you can hear before they even start recording. They're in the middle of a conversation. they're literally just talking as if the camera isn't even there. So it's like if you're trying to like force yourself into like being something you're not just for the sake of entertainment for others, when in reality you just got to think, hey, we're having a conversation, we're chilling. You know?
Yeah.
I think more people would be attracted to a natural vibe and conversation as opposed to like. That's not how Robert usually talks. That's not how Ben usually talks. This is a show.
Really?
Know? Oh yeah. Like I would much rather if I was to like do my own podcast. I don't think I ever would. But if I was
Get a little closer to the mic too. If you can. Thank you.
If I was to do something of my own podcast, I don't think I would. I would want it to be as like casual and as like try to just talk normal as I can.
Yeah. I know it's probably, I don't know how many minutes we're in because I can't see the time, but I don't even like, I don't know. It's just something about the
Well, as a host,
the need to perform.
As a host, it's a little harder because you have to be the one kind of directing.
You're talking just as much as I am, though.
I know.
I feel like.
I don't know. I don't know. As in, I'm just trying to like say, let's say for like other people.
I'm not discounting that at all.
Yeah. As a host, like you feel the need to like lead conversation and point people in directions to get clips, if you want to call it that, because that's what podcasting is. You get clips that are like, oh, that was a good topic. Let's continue. So it's like there's a little more pressure, in that sense, but not really.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's the whole just the authentic thing and just experience or whatever. I like doing it. It's fun and it's cool because like with depending upon like what type of friendship you have with someone. Obviously, me and you have been friends since honestly before high school. Because we should probably get into this how we met at some point. No, whatever. We'll go there now. We met on like a basketball court because our sisters played for NCAA way back in the day. Do you remember those jerseys, by the way? The jerseys literally had the tape falling on it.
Atrocious.
Dude, the white. It wasn't even like a. I would have preferred like a. I remember. So I'm trying to think. So when we were in high school together, I'm like a year ahead of you. But we're basically. I'm like just a couple months. You're what? You're just December
30th.
You and LeBron.
Me and LeBron, baby.
Two goats.
The goat.
I'm sure you're sick of me saying that. Is your mic arm okay?
It's just falling.
Yeah, is it falling?
There
off
we go.
The,
no, it
if
was
not,
just
too,
bending.
we can edit it out and we can fix the mic arm.
No, we're good.
What were we talking about? Yeah, so the whole thing about when me and you met is that we had been friends since literally I think, like I said, I was in 8th grade, you were in 7th, and you were do you remember you had this purple zip up?
Yes, sir.
And you were wearing these jeans. I'm like, and it was at halftime at one of our, like I said, was Mariah? Mariah must have been playing ball at the time.
Mariah and Allie were on the same team.
And Mariah and Allie were like what, 2 years? Mariah's senior or junior year?
Yeah, I think Allie was a freshman.
Allie's 2 years older than you, right?
Yeah, I think Allie was a freshman and Mariah was a senior.
Oh yeah, because Mariah didn't play ball her senior year. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So, anyways, and we ended up just shooting at halftime at like the St. Mary's gym, which is funny because we have a lot of like good and bad memories from that gym, which we could talk about if you want. But it's funny because that was our first like interaction was literally basketball.
Yeah, and then the first time I like saw you outside of that, I was sitting in the cafe, like in middle school, and I see you walk through the doors. And I'm like, I know that guy. I know him from somewhere. And then Chris goes up to you and is like, Ben. And
Oh, Chris
like,
Bourgeois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know this guy. But then eventually we like, because we didn't really hang out when you started, or starting at NCA. We started hanging out once like I was like a sophomore.
Yeah, dude, not in a really funny, corny way. I know I've been out of high school for, oh my God, 6 or 7 years now. I graduated in 2016. It's 2024. God bless you. Third time's a charm.
It's not there.
Did I get you low-key into the Dan friend group? Which, this sounds so dumb. Like 7 years after high school. I don't remember.
Yeah, you did. You invited me over to Dan's house.
Yeah.
For
I
sleepovers.
invited you over to Dan's
Oh,
house,
yeah.
and I'm sure it was a sleepover back in the day. Yeah. Ooh, Ooh,
This
fourth time's a
this
charms.
mustiness is gonna kill me, man.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
How do I
okay.
get this thing tight?
But I don't remember the Bonhoeffer thing. But I had gone to, me and Chris had gone to when my church used to have a school, MCA, not to be mistaken with Nashua Christian. Damn, dude, not half the podcast, but like, I also am a little congested. So, oh shoot, is this?
It's kind of
Okay, cool. Hold on, people. Technical difficulties.
all right.
Sorry, guys, we're back. I think I was talking about Chris. I don't know. So, going back to, you said how you saw me at Bonhoeffer's or whatever, and
No, the cafeteria NCA.
Oh, the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Sorry. When you say the cafe, I feel like it was. I always think of Bonds because you literally were there forever. So.
Dude, I hope my mom doesn't hear this, but I resent Bonhoeffer so much.
You want to talk about it? We could talk about it.
So
Not in a gossipy way.
from
but
5th grade to when I got my driver's license,
Man's got receipts.
my mom worked at the cafe, and I didn't have a car, and I think Allie had a car, and went her own way or did whatever. But there was like a good 2 or 3 years where I would have to go walk to the cafe and do my homework every single day after school. And my mom is like a hard worker, so she stays late. So like,
Well, also some people might not know what your mom's role is at Bonhoeffer's.
she's the
or
manager.
was.
She's the manager.
Is she still a manager?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
They're actually, shout out Bonhoeffer's, they were featured on New Hampshire Chronicle literally last week.
Was that their first time?
Live television, yeah.
Dang. Oh yeah, because remember I sent you a video of Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe recording it. Yeah.
My mom got a little airtime.
Yeah. Come on, you're famous now.
Oh.
Took a while.
It's the
But
second time she was on TV. That's the
second time
first time.
was the first time also for Bonhoeffer's.
No, first time we were back in New Jersey. It was like related to her,
Joyzy.
related to her surgery for cancer. But
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you were talking about when you were in 5th grade when you had to go to Bonhoeffer's.
yeah, so I had to go to
Basically every
Bonhoeffer's
day?
for
Yeah.
every single day. And sometimes I'm a good student, so I did my homework at school. So I would literally just sit in Bonhoeffer's.
Weren't you like a straight A student?
I was an honor roll student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I graduated with honors,
There you go.
which is
No, high
kinda-
honors. High honors.
Yeah.
Wasn't there high honors and honors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was high honors.
I was honors, dude. I can't even believe I was honors. I mean, I'm not stupid.
Well, who was top of your class? Emily?
Miss Emily
Miss Emily?
Grace Fournier.
I had Josh and Hannah Kelton top of my class. I think
Josh
Hannah,
Hartling.
I think Hannah beat Josh, and that really pissed off Josh.
I should ask him
I
about
think
it
he
next
did.
time I have him on. That's another couple I gotta have on too for
I
third
think
wheel.
Josh couldn't believe that. Josh was like,
Dude, I could just imagine his incredulous face where he's like, I put in so much time and work for this. Like,
well, now he's a software engineer, so he's good.
yeah, that is true. On a random note, so you started working at Bonhoeffer's at like 13?
No.
No, you said
no,
fifth.
no,
Oh,
no.
you were going to Bonhoeffer's and just chilling in 5th grade,
Yeah.
which is like,
I
what
would
is
chill
5th grade for age-wise? Like 12? I don't even know. No, way earlier than that, right?
I have no
Because
idea.
when you go into high school, you're like 15, I think.
15
So 15.
or 16, so it's
And
probably
math is hard for me, so.
it's probably like 11 or 12.
15.
But yeah, spent a lot of time there doing homework, and I just got so bored. I'm like, I can't be here.
Yeah, and you would be there for like till close, right? And they would close
Basically,
you get out of school at like 3:10 or whatever, and then you stay till like 6, right?
they used to close at 5. Yeah, they'd get the rush from all the students coming in from coming in from NCA.
Yeah.
So they would have everything clean, all the lunch would be over, and then out of nowhere they get hit with like 1,000 smoothies because everyone got smoothies at NCA.
Oh. Yeah, those $6 smoothies were worth every penny, honestly.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I would always get the smoothie and like a chocolate chip cookie, the big thick ones. Oh my god.
Mm.
So, Anyway, so as like obviously transitioning into high school or whatever, there was this legendary. I guess I should bring it up. So when there became this legendary group of us lads that I think it was like I don't know my sophomore year or whatever when I started to really hang out with like the guys in my class outside of school or whatever. Like I said, Dan Scott, who's been on the pod before, and Joe would end up, getting more and more closer as friends, like as the years went on in high school. So I think around sophomore year, like the big thing was if you were cool, which is like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on high school because it's high school or whatever. But that's when we would have like the whole sleepover thing. And I remember be like, oh, you want to sleep over and whatever, which is funny because on a random note, I remember like your parents. I never slept over your house. And the only time you slept over my house was like, unfortunately, a time where it was a family emergency thing.
Sleepovers were a treat for me. I was not my parents were strict, but they were like, they didn't want me sleeping over friends' houses. They'd rather me sleeping at the house.
And it's funny because like me and you especially were like really good kids, so it's not like we were partying in high school or like being wild or drinking or smoking or whatever. Like we were like pretty vanilla kids, like
playing
in a good way.
Video games all night. Yeah, that's all we did.
Dude, we freaking like I if you could name like what I would do like in high school on like a day off or I had like a sleepover, dude, it would be Mountain Dew freshetta and like ball and pizza. Or not pizza, Xbox.
Going to Heron Pond at 12 at night.
Yeah.
Playing basketball for like 4 hours. Getting back
that
and
was
playing FIFA.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
We did some things at Heron Pond that now that I look back on it, I was like, was that legal? Maybe I should. I might cut that out. Dude, let's talk about ball real quick in high school.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So, because ball's been a big thing that we bonded over. I can't really play for the time being in the last year because my knees are effed up and whatever. But, let's talk about that for a little bit.
From my perspective, ball, I only started getting good after junior year.
Well, because I honestly thought you have like you were a pretty good soccer player, bro. Well, I feel like an underrated one on our team because of like we had a ton of like really good soccer players that played like club or for like another school. Like Dillo played for Litchfield, right?
Yeah.
Natan, did he do some?
Natan's just fast. Natan's crazy fast.
That's just his Ukrainian.
And
genes.
he plays a lot of soccer now too. So he's pretty good at soccer.
Yeah, and even a couple of the girls on our team were like pretty nasty. I remember one of my good old friends, Sarah Birch, she played for Hollis and a ton of AAU, and then like I remember Jordan. I think Jordan plays in college.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Sarah did, but we had some like good play, and then we had like Nathan Gray who could have played in college by a mile.
Yeah.
The Thompson brothers and stuff. So it was funny because like I felt like in the beginning when we were first becoming friends, like I'm like a soccer player, even though when we first met, like I said, we were just shooting hoops at like halftime.
Well, so the reason why I got into basketball and the reason why I wanted to get better at basketball and start lifting weights was all the pickup I played with you and Shane. All the times going to the Y after school and literally getting bodied. I was getting bodied and pushed over and like.
And that was with skinny Shane.
Yeah.
But Shane was still strong when he was skinny.
And I was like getting hurt. Like I was complaining, calling fouls, and I'm like, screw this. And I started lifting and working out. And like I don't know.
Yeah, you had a good like year or so of working out. Yeah.
And I literally was like, I'm gonna start shooting.
There's this great picture on your old Tinder file.
Oh,
I'm sure you don't have it. But you were ripped. I was like, wow. That is a great photo. It's okay, man. It's that
but
it's that relationship weight.
Yeah, she is a good cook.
Dude, I love Amelia's cooking, and I've had it like once.
It's always a plus.
But in a funny note, just to make a long story short about high school ball, is like me and you were like very bad.
Well,
like,
yeah. Looking back, oh yeah.
Like I didn't even get like I couldn't even play probably, bro, on Merrimack's high school team. Maybe until my senior year. Obviously, Merrimack is like they're a Division I, in New Hampshire, so probably Division II high school anywhere else in the country. But even though Merrimack has had a couple, during my high school years, they had one trip to the state championship against Manchester West. I remember I saw that at UNH with Shane and this guy Noah Bagelman, who we actually played pickup with. You probably don't remember, but he hit like a game winner, but it was after the whistle, so it wasn't really a game winner in the state championship when they were down by 2.
Yep.
But it was weird, dude. I feel like me and you kind of got the basketball itch, as it were. Now we have the golf itch. Well, you have the golf itch, and I'm just desperately trying to chase after you. But I feel like we got the basketball itch at like the same time.
Yeah.
Shane had been balling and doing AAU since, I don't know, 5th or 6th grade. And Shane's just like a great athlete in general and whatnot. But we got it at the same time, I feel like. Because at the end of my freshman year, when we had this coach so for people that don't know, NCAA was like pretty small, like on one of the good years, which was probably like, because it got smaller and smaller. I'm trying to think. When I graduated, there was like, 50 people in the high school? And then when you graduated, there's probably like a little bit less. I'm trying to think. What was the year that they closed? 2018? 2019?
No. Like 2016.
No. I graduated in 2016.
Oh, sorry. 2018. Yeah. It was
And
the
you
year
graduated
after my year.
Okay, 2018. Great. Okay. So, I'm trying to think of where I was going with that. But the whole thing of we got the same basketball itch at the same time, and the reason why we got better was simply just because we played more pickup with guys that were like a lot better than us.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I'm no transcendent player or whatever, but like, dude, you this is the only time where I will give you props, because I cannot stand. We can talk about. There's been times, dude.
Oh yeah, I'd purposely piss you off in basketball just to get under your skin, just to have competitive advantage. Yeah, he sees what he's doing right now. Yeah, that's because I was in his head rent free.
Dude, they sound so bad. Obviously, like, we're great, we're fine. There's been times where I'm like, I've almost like wanted to.
Oh yeah, he's almost
impose violence on you.
Oh yeah. Oh, you've hit me multiple times. We've gotten in
I've never.
our friendship.
I'm not dirty though.
Over our friendship, we've had a
we can. Yeah.
We've had a good, healthy amount of fights, but needed fights. That I think that
I hate fighting with
I
you
hate-
because the funny thing is I hate fighting with him because I know that like he's very good with his words, and he has this great genes from his mother, which is just very authoritative and not type A, but like very like I know what's up. Not like controlling, but it would always come out in the court.
Direct.
And it got annoying because I'm like, dude, stop sitting on the 3-point line. And it was funny because like in high school it was fine because once again, going into my sophomore year, I started playing more pickup and just getting better. But this is what I think I must have forgot halfway down the basketball talk. But when we merged with Mount Zion, because NCAA was a small school, that's why I was bringing up the small numbers of when we graduated. So we merged with Mount Zion for sports like soccer and basketball, which has been awesome because there's been so many. Actually, this is a good reminder for me. Jack Bouchane's wanted to come on ever since the second or third episode. So, Jack, I have your phone number now. I see it. I haven't texted you back, but I promise I will, and I'll have you on soon. But like we didn't become good until like literally my senior year, your junior year.
Yeah.
Remember, like, on a funny note, I remember my dad was trying to tell him, like, and this is funny because, like, a while ago you used to, like, anger me. But, like, remember how you used to shoot from, like, your chest and whatever? My dad's like, Robert, you got to do it like this. You're like, no. And then every once in a while, like, now, a couple of years after high school, when we would play pickup, you're like, man, I'm going to do my old form. And it's like this, like, little, like, weird push shot from, like, your sternum.
From my chest, yeah.
Yeah. And then dude, like honestly, a legendary performance from you. Like I said, it's not that it's like obviously like playing for our when we were playing for our it was honestly, bro, it was a big deal when we ended up winning our championship my senior year, your junior year, which obviously it was more like a D4. Like New Hampshire, I don't even know if they have D4.
It was worse than D4.
But we played some like tough teams that arguably could have played. You know, this sounds so funny because it's like it just is what it is. But basketball was a great bonding experience. So what I was trying to mention was,
My St. Marie's game.
yeah. So your senior year. All right. Before we go there,
He wants to talk.
why would you not let me be the assistant coach?
No, I could not take direction from you. There was no way. Are you
Dude,
kidding
I
me?
made your game better.
I was the captain. I wasn't gonna have Ben come in and try to
It's an ego thing.
I wasn't gonna have Ben come in and try to coach these guys when I'm trying to tell them what to do as well. Like Phil Haney needed.
You know
me.
how you got better, Robert, from me punishing you in the post
No,
and Shane moving you around on the perimeter?
I got better playing at the YMCA, which you and I started that. You and I started that whole
It's
YMCA
so dumb, bro, but
movement.
I kind of want to take credit for that.
No, you take more credit than I do for sure because you're the one.
Oh,
who
no,
makes,
dude, that was a mutual thing.
But you made the
Because
group
remember, we
chats.
didn't want to talk to the public school kids because they were always like dicks to us.
Yeah, but for those who don't know, Ben and I started playing ball with Shane basically after school at the Y, and we would
Yeah.
always see the Merrimack kids playing 5-on-5. And we were all, and Shane was always like, "Let's go play with them. Let's go play with them." And we're like, "Nah, we don't want to do it."
Yeah, and Shane grew up playing AAU and Milford ball, and I was in a funny way really quickly. I'm like, Shane, I always feel like Shane could have played college ball easily.
Yeah.
On a random note, just
And over
Side note.
time, we started like, all right, let's go play. We play pickup every once in a while. And then after time, we started developing a group that would occasionally come. And then after more time, it was like, all right, Friday nights, everyone shows up at the Y and we play pickup 4-on-4 on both sides of the Merrimack basketball court. And I would look forward to Fridays every single week because it was
I
like
would too, dude.
we would play from 5 o'clock to 9. We would play for 4
Was it,
hours.
when we first started out, was it really 9 o'clock?
It was. We would play till close, and they closed at 10 sometimes. And it was like competitive ball. And the thing about playing there, it was like we all respected each other, but it was still competitive to the point where it was like you can get in someone's face, and you know it's not going to lead to something violent. And then everyone had the same understanding of like, all right, this is our crew. So when someone came in and started talking trash or like started being threatening, everyone's like, back off. Like, this is not what we do here.
Yeah, and it's funny, dude, because the now, like I said, it freaking sucks because I just really can't play ball right now. It won't be forever or whatever because of my knee. But when it was first started out, like I said, bro, the original four, me, you, Chris Griffin, and our friend Nolan.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that was the original group.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was like, it was fun, man. It was great. You're naturally like a talker, so you need almost in a funny way. When we play in a lot of men's leagues, I can't wait to have Jalen on here because I'm gonna have. There's so many things I would love to talk about with Jalen, all our cool stories and whatever. But like, you play better, whatever you're doing, like whether it's golf, whether it's basketball or whatever we're doing. You always have like honestly, dude, like you and Shane not as much now because he just like slugs it all out at the gym or whatever. You are the most competitive person I've ever met.
Probably.
And I don't even know where it comes from. Because, like, I look at your family and they're just like, oh, they're awesome in, like, so many different ways. And, like I said, your mom's is basically, I know she doesn't own Bonhoeffers, but, like, I feel like in like, a funny way, she, like, definitely, like, Bonhoeffers would not be the way it is without, like, her influence, you know?
My mom is super, super competitive. Like,
That's probably where you get it, bro.
when she was growing up,
It's
too.
like,
yeah.
the best word I can say is, like, cutthroat.
But, like,
and then-
she used to be a pitcher, like a softball pitcher, and she would like strike out
I
the
think you
guys
did
and
tell me that,
everything.
yeah. My mom played softball, too.
Yeah, but like no, she definitely, now that she isn't right now as she is, but she's lost that little bit of edge. But like
Yeah.
She
But back in the day, I remember you like, oh, check out these pictures when I remember when I would come over for family dinners.
that's fun.
That was legendary,
That was
bro. There's so many funny stories I have of just your mom being like, Ben, you're my second son, but
Yeah. Yeah. Or me trying to score goals for your mom to make me a sandwich.
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Back when we were doing soccer too, so. But ball's been awesome, man, and I really miss it. But now, like I said, we ended up having this like good amount of like people from our basketball group that we play like with a couple times a week in the. Like I said, this was kind of like coming out of high school, or it started in high school and then was like coming out of it, and we would just have so much fun. And once again, it doesn't really matter, but there would just be like douchebags and dudes trying to live. I'm sure like some people who listen to us like, oh, they're living their glory days. But I'm like, dude, it was just a great, fun atmosphere to take your mind off stuff and whatever. And now they still have that group, but it's like a totally different amount of people now. And
The thing is, too, it's like I wasn't just going for the basketball either. It was like honestly another community that we had to hang out with.
absolutely, dude.
Like they're so
half the time,
real.
like me and Colby arguing on the sidelines.
it's so much fun. It's fun to piss people off.
Oh, it was so funny. I'm complaining about Guy like dragging his pivot foot. Guy, you're also added to the list. I know you just hit me up recently about that. Yeah, man, I think you're up to 5 or 6 sneezes now. So we'll see how much longer you can
You
last.
gotta sneeze.
I don't know,
Sneeze
man. But
meter.
But to move on from ball, man, that was just an awesome like community and whatever. But I do miss it so much because like even back in the like I said, even when we would have those magical days when we had like Lens, Jalen, and Shane would be there. Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy Steven with the tattoos who was always like jacked, wore the gray sweats?
Well, he was like at first a real asshole, but like over time he started getting like nicer.
Yeah, and that's a
Yeah.
thing. Speaking of that, like we won a lot of people over because we're like, dude, we're not gonna be douches here.
Yeah, same
We're
with
try-
Langston. Langston was like
You're the one that won over Langston. give him the quick background on Langston.
Langston is from Europe, and yet Langston was an overseas player.
Yeah, and a prison
And a
guard
prison
too,
guard.
from Baltimore.
First time Langston shows up in the gym, he sees us all playing, and he immediately is like, "I got next," and he's like, from the get go, talking trash, and just
Yeah.
calling everyone out. And that day, I was having a good shooting day. Back in the day in the Merrimack gym, I was shooting really well, and so
No, for sure.
I was getting a little ticked off because I'm like, this guy's just coming in here and talking shit this whole time. I'm going to say something. So we're going back and forth. He's saying, I can't do anything. At the time, he had like a broken finger. He's like, I'm doing all this with one hand on you, motherfucker. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
So I turned it up a notch. I started hitting threes on him, hitting threes. He comes back the next day. He's like, I got a little red on me. I got a little red on my team.
Is that what he would call
Yeah,
you?
Little Red. He's my son. That's my son right there. Little Red's on my team. And then over time, like he stopped acting tough and he started just playing ball and having a good time.
Yeah.
But he'd always talk
Yeah.
trash. It was always fun.
Just to, like I said, I know we've been talking about ball for a while. I want to talk about NBA too, because I mentioned this in the last pod. I feel like you would have a really good, really some good insight on playoffs
I think tonight.
coming up. We can get into that in one quick second. But I wanted to say, who was the guy? Like, just two quick things for pickup. Who was the guy that you loved? Like that you could score on. That you knew you could score on like any day of the week, and who was one of the people that gave you the hardest time when you were out of our pickup group? Like I said, this is just for me and you, just because I don't know if I've ever asked you. So who gave you the most grief on defense, and who, whenever like they were in front of you, like, oh, I got a bucket coming.
He's gonna hate me for. He's gonna love that I say this, but Brandon's so difficult to play against.
Oh, now I have to. Brandon, you have to come
He's
on
a
now,
great
dude.
defender.
You have to come on.
Very good defender, shifty, can predict your moves. Like very good defender. Danny. I could always get a bucket on
Danny
Danny.
Griffin?
Danny Griffin. Yes. Danny went.
Oh, Danny, I love you, man. I still follow you on Snapchat and Facebook. Man. You were the best. Honestly, he was also kind of part of the top 4. Really great guy.
Or Chris.
And yo, I'm eating on Chris all day, bro. I do not give a fuck.
Someone who I can lock down that you'd be surprised, just because I know his release so well.
Oh, I know this.
Colby. I block him on half of his shot attempts. He gets so pissed. He comes up to me. He's like, "You block me so much. Why do you do that?"
Yeah, there's certain guys, bro, that just kind of like get you.
And you, I can lock you up pretty easily in the paint.
You can make me work for it.
Like most of your post moves, other people have a hard time defending. I just know how you shift your body and like when you're actually doing an up fake and when you're not. Just because I've done it for so many years against you.
I just feel like the last 2 years it hasn't been fair. Because whenever I would play, I would be like at 60%. And then you'd be like, hey, yo, let's expose that. What the
Oh, that's great.
I literally have no cartilage in my knee. You're like, hey, yo.
Yo, I got Ben.
It's funny, like, when you play ball, bro, God bless you, your voice, like, drops, like, 3 decibels. Ayo. For me,
I might need a tissue.
yeah, we can take a quick break. Yeah, we will get Robert a break as soon as I say my first couple. Honestly, bro, you know who I'm getting buckets on? Who am I?
No,
who
let
do
me
you think
guess.
I'm getting buckets on?
You haven't been in a while. Are we talking old crew or?
Anybody can get this work, bro.
Garrett.
Yep. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And Garrett gets mad because Garrett's a physical player, and then I'll give it back to him, and he'll be like, dude, you're pushing off. I'm like, I have never pushed off in my life unless it's like Colby or Lentz. I've never done it. I did it once on Jalen, too. But, yeah. We'll take a quick break, and you can go blow your nose, right?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Robert had to blow his nose.
Thank you.
But yeah, dude, I'm getting buckets on Lentz. You know, I don't care. He always falls for my up fakes. Who was the other person I said?
Garrett.
Oh, Garrett. Yeah, anybody else, like, I can just body them. But Garrett's like, it's almost a challenge, but I'm still, you know. And then hardest person to guard. I would almost put you up there, but you just do screens all the time. So if you don't have a screen, I can guard that easy. There's this guy, what's his name? Who's the tall?
Spencer?
Spencer is a little hard to guard, but I give him he's got that dad strength and he's smart.
Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff. Or I don't know, pick up Lentz is hard to guard too, bro, but like pick up Lentz and Levi from back in the day. But yeah, I would say that guy Jeff. I can't do it, bro. He's too lanky. It's literally insane. Yeah. But whatever. Anyways, man, like basketball's always been like cool thing and whatever, and I'm hoping to get back to it, but also I just don't know where I'm gonna go with that and stuff. So anyways, moving on. Well, yeah, I still want to hear your NBA playoff takes because I still have some. Obviously, things have changed since me and Shane did our podcast during Game 3 of Celtics Heat.
Oh wow, that was
so
a while
it's been
ago.
a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, it's been a little while ago. So I can lay the groundwork, or you can just go if you want.
Yeah, I'll go. Celtics won.
Yeah, Celtics beat the Heat in 5 games. It's pretty handily. I mean, there was no Jimmy, so Jimmy's just he's just a weird like Swiss Army knife, depending upon the game. Like he can have big games against the Celtics, but I think just at the time when they don't have him, it kind of changes their whole offense. And then they didn't have the biggest thing too last year when the Celtics lost. Hold on, the Celtics. Yeah, it was Celtics Nuggets last year, right?
No.
No, Heat Nuggets. I
Heat
mean.
Nuggets. They lost
Yeah.
the Heat.
So when we lost to the Heat, dude, like Jimmy Butler like played solid, but then you had like their second, third, and fourth players dropping 20 a game.
Yeah.
Caleb Martin dropping 25. Gabe Vincent averaging like 3 or 4 points on the Lakers all season, and then Adebayo always plays well, but that was
The Celtics are notorious for having one guy who is just like a sleeper go off, like the Cavs. So the Celtics just beat the Cavs.
yeah.
Game 6, or no, Game 5.
Yeah, it was a gentleman's sweep.
On
So
a gentleman's
I think we
sweep.
should have swept the Heat when they had no Jimmy Butler. That should have been a sweep. But if it was any more than 6 games, I was telling one of my other friends this. I'm like, if the Celtics are going to make this big championship run, they can't be taken like Brandon. Remember when we took the Atlanta Hawks to 6 games, or was it 7 during our title run?
Stupid.
Why is Trae Young 6'1" Trae Young hitting a game winner on Jaylen Brown from 35 feet?
ISO ball. We're not a good ISO team.
You're a big component on this, actually. You
I
always
said this.
halfway through the game, you're like, yeah.
The Celtics are the best when it
"Close
is.
to the mic, buddy."
The Celtics are the best when it's the first quarter, within the first 3 minutes of the game, when no one's hot, so no one's forcing ISO ball, and they find open guys and they pass the ball. If they just stuck to team basketball, because they have a team, they have all the talent necessary to use all the components. Once it gets to the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left to go in the game and they go ISO ball, watch the scoreboard. The scoreboard starts to tick in the other team's direction. Why? Because we're chucking up shots one-on-one, getting bad looks, and we're trying to feed a hot hand as opposed to do what you've done all season and let the ball work to your other teammates.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like I said, it's I know we're talking so much ball on this pod, but with Tatum, man, it's like even this year specifically, like he's averaging like I think he was averaging like 27, 28, or 29, and now he's averaging like 25 or whatever. So he's had a drop in his points and a couple other things, but rebounds have been up and his assists are a little bit up as well. So even now, when he is on the court, like he's not even trying to look for his shot as much, but they still get into these modes where it was like not really Game 5, which we won back at home, but Game 4 in Cleveland, it's like we ended up winning the game, but it's like it's hero ball, and it's just tough because like him and Brown, it's weird. They've like kind of made it work sometimes. Yeah. And what I mean by that is like Jaylen Brown is probably like a top, what would you say, like 20, 25 player in the NBA?
20.
Tatum's arguably top 5 because we're in the conference finals every year. That's another thing. It's like the Tatum-Luka thing or even Tatum-Shea where it's like, oh, these guys are better than Tatum. It's like,
It's so disrespectful to what he's
I get it
accomplished.
because like Tatum has a slightly better team, but it's like if we don't get to if we don't win the finals this year, like it's kind of championship or bust. Like what other team has that? Even Denver doesn't.
Right. And the thing with it, like ISO ball, that only works or only makes sense for teams like the Cavs, the Knicks, because you have one guy who's responsible for the majority of your scoring. We have the talent, so feed the talent.
Yeah, and even it's funny, like Drew Holiday just signed another I forget exactly. I think it's 4 years, like 120 or 130 million, and people are like, oh, that's too much, that's crazy. And I do agree because like Holiday's a little bit older. I'm like, but then like even in Game 5, like closeout game in Boston, like I don't think he had a crazy amount of points, but he just hit like big, like he just had a couple like easy points in the paint, and he hit a couple big threes. And when I see Holiday shoot threes, I'm like, oh, I don't know,
it's
bro.
ugly.
But he's shooting like 39 or 40%, which is like a career high for him in Boston. But I'm like also because we have like 7 or 8 3-point shooters on the team that shoot above 38%.
Arguably,
Or probably like 36, 37. The league average, I think, is 35. So we have like 7 above average 3-point shooters on our team.
I told this to Ryan's dad golfing today when Al had his Game 5 heroic performance. Basically, watching him play defense and watching Al work, and then seeing how Porzingis plays defense and seeing what he does. Porzingis is a offensive player. He is not that big of a threat on defense. Al is a very good defender. If
Even at 30, however old.
39. If you watch
Yeah.
the defense flow when Al's on the court relative to what Porzingis does when he's on the court on defense, I think either it's the years that he's been on the Celtics or just the veteran in him. There is such a better switch. There's such better communication, such better flow. He harasses the defense way better than what Porzingis is able to do, and I think his presence is way more impactful than Porzingis' presence. I think that if Porzingis was playing more minutes, I think we might be in a Game 7, Game 6 situation.
That's interesting. Well, it's funny because like, with Porzingis' like health and whatever, and being that tall, like I'm surprised Wembanyama hasn't had a couple more injuries, especially his rookie year, because he's 7'6" and Porzingis is 7'3". Because like the taller you are, the more it's scientifically proven how much your body takes a beating. It just breaks down easier. And I was thinking this honestly, like as soon as we signed him, I'm like, is he going to be there for playoffs? So he sat like all of the Cleveland series, so which thankfully I'm really happy. Like even though we had a couple games where we didn't look great, but we still won. I'm like, gentlemen, sweep Heat should have been like an actual sweep if you're a championship team. And then we look at the Cleveland Cavs, and that's a gentleman's sweep, which is like probably could have won that. And I forget game 2 when we lost. Is that when Mitchell had 30 or 40? I don't know. I feel like Mitchell is always a player that always plays well against the Celtics. Mitchell, Giannis always plays well against
Jimmy.
us. Steph. Jimmy would be the 4th, yeah. So moving on from the Celtics, so it looks like we're gonna play the Knicks. Knicks play tomorrow. I think game 7.
You think Knicks take that?
Yeah, I just think Halliburton's good. But he's young. Honestly, it's crazy. Aaron Nesmith signed by the Celtics and now is on Indiana because he didn't do jack diddly squat. Excuse me. Hopefully the mic didn't catch that up. We'll see. Nesmith is great. Is playing really great defense and whatever. But it's not like. I really like Indiana, so they're known as a team that plays pace and like they play very quickly, shoot a lot of threes. It's very similar to the Celtics, but I just don't. The Knicks are it's gonna be like probably a low scoring game, and someone's gonna hit a big 3. But I think it's gonna be Knicks Celtics, and Celtics advance Knicks in 6 games. But I think the Knicks series is gonna be rough. I think the Knicks are gonna play tough and be gritty and physical and all the stuff. But yeah. So going on to some of the other teams.
I think tonight is Game 7.
Unfortunately, bro, Game 7 isn't till Sunday. So Thunder Mavs is on right now. Shane just told me right before we started the podcast. I know. Anthony Edwards just said today, he's like, this is going to be the best Game 7 of all time.
I think it's going to be the best of the playoffs this year.
Do you think Edwards is good enough to totally just will his team? Like, he can just have 40 and they'll win?
No, I think Jokic can do that. Edwards can't. I think Jokic is gonna have the best game of his career. I think he might put up 50, 20.
You think Murray's going to play well?
Murray will have.
It's weird.
Over
He's
20.
acted weird recently with some of the fine he had, and just responding to it. Where he's like, just on to the next game or whatever. I'm like, dude, you got to find $100K for that. Like, I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know that, but I genuinely think he could put up like 50, 20, 10. Like ridiculous numbers.
It's just so funny too, dude. Because like these European players, like I don't like their game sometimes. Like I don't really like the game of Jokic and Doncic, but like it works. Like it's very proven. I think Luka should be getting a ton more criticism because he's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years now. And to be honest, one of the last times they were making a big playoff run, Kawhi ended it. But I don't even want to talk about Kawhi, bro, because he's. I don't want to talk about the Clippers in general. So Clippers Mavs is going on right now. It's probably almost over.
Second quarter.
But I think I said Mavs in 6 or 7. I think I said in 7. I did this like NBA thing that I put on the website. So I had it obviously Celtics, Nuggets, Celtics in 6. Or did I say 7? I don't remember. It wasn't like a betting thing, but I would love to do. I know you do a little bit of sports betting. I can't do it, bro. Like, I would see like one parlay hit, and I'd think, all right, I'm putting the house on it.
Yeah.
And I could.
I
dude.
throw, like-
just having an addictive personality is like, oh.
Only on the teams I follow, I'll put $10 down max, and like usually the odds are so like not likely, but I've won like maybe 3 bets that have gotten me like I probably profited like 1,800 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in all the $10 that I've lost, probably I'm at like a positive 150, 200 maybe.
Oh wow, really?
Oh yeah.
That little?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's sometimes fun, like going locally to the river and just doing blackjack or 21.
Still haven't done that. Still haven't done a poker out at like one of the places.
Yeah. You think you would dress up like you did with Tim and some of the other guys a little while ago? That was kind of fire, but I was also like, you got to go out and do that, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what the vibe is. If it's like more casual, I'll just be casual.
Yeah.
If I don't want to bring attention.
I mean, if you go to Encore in Boston, like that's somewhere I would love to go.
Dress up.
But I'm like, I would have to have I would have to budget it and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to spend, and that's it. Like,
Yeah. I've never been
know.
to a casino.
I'm trying to think if I have been.
I've been to like the river, but that's not.
that's not a
Never
casino.
been
That's
there for.
that's Main Street in Nashua.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd just be fun to do. Like, obviously, I'm more in for it for the experience, you know, and not whatever. So, I don't know. So we covered Mavs and Thunder. You think do you think the Mavericks are gonna advance or?
I think that series is up to chance, to be honest.
I think that I just don't know who the Mavericks or the Thunder's second guy is gonna be. Cause Chet's cool, Jalen Williams is all right, but I'm like, they're good as a team. They're very much like, think about 2K, like chemistry, A+ or whatever.
Right.
You look at all the posts. I don't know if you've seen their post interviews like after games, but like,
They're all,
we're a bunch of dogs
yeah,
here.
they're all
And
barking.
they're like, arf, arf.
Yeah. I think that the Mavs are just so chokeable that
You think so with Kyrie and Luka?
Kyrie is such a like, oh, I'm gonna put up 25 this night. Oh, I only put up 10 this night. Oh, I'm gonna put up 30 this night, but I'm only gonna do 12 this night. It's like so inconsistent. Like he's a streaky. He turned into a streaky guy.
Kyrie?
Yeah, he's not like
Yeah.
averaging well. He's streaky in the playoffs.
Dude, I wanted him to go to the Lakers for so long. I wanted him to go to the Lakers, especially
because of Braun.
excuse me, especially after the Brooklyn Nets situation. Excuse me, the Brooklyn Nets situation. But
Isn't it hard to believe that he was a Celtic?
very much so.
Like that happened for a year.
I think that was kind of the team that like made his career be like, he's kind of a problem.
Yeah. That's when
So-
everyone realized, like, oh, he is the problem.
yeah, for sure.
But I
man.
think he found a groove in Dallas. It sounds like he's doing well,
Yeah.
like mentally.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. And so once more, like going back to the Nuggets too, like they were down 2-0, and Shane's like, "Wow, Timberwolves are gonna win it." I'm like, championship. Like this is the one of the few times where I'm like, I think I'm right. I think the Nuggets are gonna pull it out. But you never know. You never know. Like I don't believe in Mike Conley, like or Kyle Anderson. Naz Reid can hit threes, and Cat's streaky as can be, I guess. All right, so that's been episode I think 8 of the Last House on the Left. I'm glad, Rob, that you came on, bro. I'll have to have you on. Like I said, another time. I feel like we talked so much about sports and whatever, but glad to have you on, man. If I don't know if there's anything you want to plug or whatever, you plug your Instagram or your. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, everyone. We love you. Peace, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Did I mistake you for